total audience, which I understand. And that means playing the fence in every situation, not really taking a stand for one way or the other about anything. So that was before this whole issue. So he was already off my list. Like, before any of this went down, I already was like, nope, he is not on my list of role models for my son or anyone else to think about.
Oh.
I like manly men. I like men who take a stand and say whatever. So the interview with him, where he's talking to, it's a press conference, and he's talking to the lady who asks him football questions that are involved in her job description, and was really excited about, she just seen a practice with him throwing the football to receivers who are running routes, which is something that they do in football.
Yeah.
Something that a reporter should know about.
They better.
Right. So he says, in response to her question about him being successful in throwing the ball to players who run routes, he says, I never knew a female could talk about routes like that, or something like that.
I thought he was talking about she was talking about the complexity of the route and the physical.
That's what she said.
So she was
beforehand.
talking more technical about.
It was technical, but he should have understood it. I understood what she was saying.
Right.
Every other man probably in the room, maybe women, I don't know, understood the question was about him.
She said something about the physicality or something, right?
Yeah, which means physical. So he's a football player. He should probably understand physical. I don't know. I felt like his response was, I thought that he was flirting with her, and if I were to be on the other end of that receiving of the flirt, I'd be really disgusted with the fact that you think that in the job that I'm in, that I wouldn't know what to talk about. Like, she's a football interviewer.
So what was his quote? What did he say?
We can Google it. I'm so tired of
something like females, because that's your trigger word. So
I don't like men who refer to women as females. I don't like it.
Tell us more.
It's disrespectful. And I've talked.
Do you feel like it's a code word for the B word?
I feel like when I've talked to people about why they use females, they're like, "That's better that than something else." And okay, so this is like something I talk to my male students and female students about is, in science we talk about female and male, but that is a code, that is an umbrella for everything. Anything that has sperm or eggs.
Yeah.
If it has sperm, it's a male. If it has eggs, it's a female. So that could be a blade of grass. That could be a squirrel. That could be a cow. That could be anything that produces eggs. That's a female.
Right.
So saying a woman would mean that is a human. So if you're referring to that female over there, like, it's almost like you don't recognize my humanity, that I'm a woman. I'm not a female. I'm not a blade of grass. I'm not a squirrel. I'm not a tree. Like, I am actually a woman, a human being. And biblically, and I, had to look it up. So biblically, the only time they ever referred to a woman as a female was if she was a slave or an animal. So anytime they're talking about female, they're talking about animals, or they're talking about someone lesser than. So to me, it's a little bit deeper than just saying instead of the B word or instead of the H word or whatever, but that's where it comes from, where it's just kind of like female, and it's not ever in a positive note. That's
true.
Never heard a man say, look at these beautiful queens and females. Like, it's not really that. It's kind of a replacement for something else. And even women who have used female have used it, admitted to use it instead of saying scallywags or skeezers or whatever they would use. So to me, whenever I hear a man say that, first of all, I'd like to take the time to correct them on it, because I just feel like maybe they don't know.
I bet they don't.
They don't. I mean, my own dad didn't know. So, and he's pretty woke. Like, he just was just like, I didn't think anything about it. Brother-in-law, husband, none of them. So Cam, I'm like, I forgive him for saying females. It wasn't about him saying females. It was just like, I would never go to a doctor and say, hey doc, it's really cool that you're talking about diseases.
Right.
Because I just feel like you should know about stuff like that. So why is it that he felt like she shouldn't know, or she shouldn't be asking about the technicalities of a route?
Oh, gotcha.
Like, she was on the beat with him. She goes to their practice every single day.
Gotcha.
So it's okay, so Cam, whatever, he's 28, he's a baby. He's excused from that. But what really makes me mad is all of these people who are defending him. Mm-hmm. Someone even said, like, the only thing he did wrong was apologize and wear this outfit. And I was like, first of all...
is this your heated debate?
I mean, I try not to get into it. I just put, I disagree on someone's post. I disagree. Don't ask me about it. I just don't agree with what you're saying. And I probably shouldn't have said that because I knew it was going to lead to more.
Yeah.
But, in the end, I was like, you know what? Men are sexist anyway.
Yeah, you said something about...
I called him a sexist. Just like a man to just defend your own instead of actually recognizing the fact that it was a sexist comment.
Yeah.
And...
I can absolutely see it. Like, girl, you just dropped all that knowledge because I don't think I put a lot of weight personally in the word female because I don't. Number one, I don't really hang around a lot of people that talk like that. Just to be honest with you, I don't.
Probably not.
So, it's not really crossed my mind. Mm-hmm. And when I worked at in high school, they didn't really. Again, that was just not the conversation I was around because, of course, I was an administrator at high school. So they weren't saying those, like having those loose conversations like that around me. So from those perspectives, I had never thought about it. But when you got so up in arms, I started really trying to think so hard about it because this is the second time that you brought... Well, you brought it up once before, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, we'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. We never did.
Right.
And so then when this came up again, I'm like, wait, I know my sunshine is not all up in arms about this statement for no reason. So I'm ready to hear all that she has to say about it because, it might help me form my belief or, how
and
I look at it.
Okay, so I don't blame Cam. I don't think that Dannon should have dropped their sponsorship.
That was extreme.
Now, apology, yes. What I don't like is that people brought up this woman is a racist. They brought up her tweets from like 2 weeks before. This woman is a racist. They were like defaming her. And I almost felt like, someone who's been raped. And they blame the woman for wearing a short skirt. And it's almost like she wasn't being racist when she asked me about running routes. Like, so why are y'all bringing all that into it when all it really was a sexist statement?
So do you feel like it's just like... Oh, geez, it's reversed. So, like, when an African-American male commits a crime, they go back into all the dirt and they try to make it justified as to the reason why he was shot dead.
Absolutely. And I felt like that as a woman. Now, this was not a color thing. This woman was Caucasian. I'm an African-American. But I felt like that. You know how when you say, this was wrong, and people say, but, and it's like, all I'm saying is admit that this is wrong. Like, all I'm saying is stop killing us or whatever. Yeah. And you're like, but he shouldn't have had a fake gun. He shouldn't have been so aggressive. He shouldn't. And it's like, really? Are you kidding me? Yeah. It put me in the position of that minority again. And, we are double minorities because we're African-American women.
And women, yeah.
And black men are single minorities, which is they are black men.
Right.
Not comparing apples and oranges. I'm not a black man, but what I'm saying is if you're a woman, and I could just put myself in the position of this woman, and I've been in rooms where I've been able to talk about routes, and people thought it was funny and cool and whatever, but imagine if that was your job, you had to chase this quarterback around the field to ask him a question, to get in the room to ask a question about something that is so masculine.
Yes.
And then for him to turn and say, I mean, I ain't realized a female could say some stuff like that. Like, I just felt like it was very... Degrading.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, he was just flirting. And I just kind of feel like that's an excuse.
And I'm just thinking, unfortunately in our culture, men do flirt in a degrading type of a way. So,
and it's not okay.
I can believe that might have been the case.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it's acceptable.
It's not okay. And I was surprised at the amount of women that I know who are strong women, and it was their spouses that were saying stuff like this. And I was like, well, how did you marry a woman that was really strong? And I mean, mine included. He even had, listen, World Famous said, he just shouldn't have said that out loud.
Oh.
And I was so hot.
I know you were.
I was like, so he shouldn't have said it out loud. Great. Ignorance is bliss. If he would said it in his mind and said something different, then at least I wouldn't know. But that statement sent me overboard. I was like, what do you mean? So people think that? Like, it was just
my
very...
husband worked, that doctor, what did he say, Lord? He said, I will be honest, he said, and he loves Cam because he helped us go to the championship.
Right.
So
he's going to defend Cam, which...
Well, no, he didn't go all in for him.
No.
He just said that, he definitely, there was a better way to say that. Like, he was just like, it was a better way to interact with her. That's basically what he was saying. It was a better way. Mm-hmm. He didn't choose the best word. He shouldn't have said those words. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know
and
if
as
it
being
was
a chocolate chip, which I know you have,
mm-hmm.
being the only black, being hit with you speak so well for a black person. That was the equivalent. Like, it set me off in that same
You're so
kind of way.
articulate.
So articulate.
So smart.
Look how
so
graceful.
Smart. Look how smart you are.
Look how, yeah.
Why are you surprised?
Right. And like,
I am. You are absolutely, I am.
Mm-hmm. That's, yeah.
Stuff that takes you 3 days to figure out, I figure out in 30 minutes. Yep. You're right.
I know. So it just made me very frustrated. And it just kind of like, man, we got some work to do. And it's not only about being woke for your color. It's about being woke for everything. Like, you have to be aware. You have to be aware of what is right and what is wrong.
Your little nemesis did bring up something, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, because I was all in the feed. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's my friend gonna say now?
Right.
Oh, no.
I had to let it go. I was like, you're stupid.
Like, oh, no, she's getting mad now. Like, I was following and I'm like, what do I do? How do I say sunshine?
So first of all, the response was, you would laugh if it was a man telling you how to walk in heels. And I was like,
I didn't get that.
I wouldn't if it was Isaac Mizrahi, because that is his job.
Right.
So what are you talking about?
That
and someone else even said, like, if it was a man talking about tampons, well, if it was his job to talk about tampons, I may listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
The problem
We've been listening to men talk about stuff like that forever.
The problem is these men feel like they are higher or more capable of talking about things than we are. Like, I feel like
it can be all things, even things that you're not ever going to
experience. Like, you're comparing yourself to a sports
to a male
journalist.
gynecologist before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, this random man who is not an athlete, or maybe he's an athlete, I don't know, was comparing himself to a sports journalist woman who was studied that, and that was her job, and was saying, well, if I told you about heels, then you would be mad. Why are you comparing yourself to someone and that's their actual job? That's not what you do.
That's their area of expertise.
And that wasn't a lot. It wasn't just this person that I decided to say I disagree with. That was a lot of that was the common theme, was like, well, what if I said something like that? But you're not her, because she's higher than you when it comes to sports knowledge.
Right.
That's her job.
Right.
Not yours.
Respect her as the professional and the expert that she is.
They didn't. And I really feel like the whole idea is that there wasn't much respect for her in the position that she held. Common theme amongst, like, there were women who even posted that. I don't know what the big deal is. Why are they so mad at Cam? And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
But we know people like that in everyday situations too.
Right. Yeah.
So that part is not too shocking.
So what was the part that you said there was a good point that was brought up?
Oh.
I probably logged out by then.
Yeah, clearly you didn't. He was like, in a nation where our president is grabbing hoo-has, we're all up in arms about this dude who's done this, And so I wonder if that does project a sense of acceptance when it comes to the degradation of women. And
so why would he bring that up when he's excusing
Right.
sexism.
Well, that's what was brought up. It was like nobody made a big deal out of that. That was kind of what he was saying.
So
but
now it's okay to
people
accept
didn't
it.
make a big deal out of it. But,
but
he
no
went
one
into
pulled any sponsorship.
He went into the black man defense mode. He was like, well, this is the black man, and look, everybody else trying to attack the black man when they say something, but we